Hey, cool gamer. Hey, what you up to? Hey, 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 cool gamer. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope that your Wednesday has gone well. And I appreciate you for coming through. I'm just done with getting done with my cardio, cooling down. I'm exercising in reverse today. I usually do weights first, then do cardio, and I come on here and cool down. But I haven't done my weights for today yet. So after I'm done cooling down, I'm gonna do my resistance workout, and I'll be done. I'll be done for today. As far as my exercise routine, I will be done. I started to wait and just cool down after, but that didn't make much sense. So just went ahead and I'm doing it now. Just got off of my elliptical, jumped off of the elliptical, and ran outside. A little bit earlier today because it's getting dark earlier. It's getting dark quite a bit earlier, and it's going to be getting dark even earlier because we have to set the time back. Uh, November. I think it's the first weekend in November that the time falls back. So it'll be getting dark even sooner. But the change is very noticeable right now. The change is very noticeable right now. Again, it feels good outside today. Today, it feels good outside. It felt good yesterday, and it feels good again today. It truly does. It's breezy. It's what kind of first darkish, breezy, nice and pleasant. It's really nice and pleasant out here. A good time to go ahead and cut the grass because it's not quite, it's early fall, so the grass is still green. The grass is still green and the grass is still growing. So it's a good time to be outside, cutting the grass, working in your flower bed, working in your garden, and doing all of the good things that you don't get to do when it's so hot outside. And if you do them, it's like you're scorching. It's so hot, so hot. So I'm going up this hill and I'm making sure not to jog the hill. I'm going to be patient and climb the hill at a nice pace. Hey, TNT family, how are you? Hello, 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 sister. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with any of you guys who comes through here. Anyone who comes through here, I hope that you've had a great Wednesday. Hope that you had a great Wednesday. Hope that the rest of your week, it's hump day. It's hump day. So you know how it is. Once Wednesday hits, I'm doing okay. That's good. She says, TNT says, hello, cool gamer. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, that you're doing okay. Okay. So listen, you're doing okay. So that just means that you'll be doing well soon. You'll be doing great after that. Sometimes we gotta take it one step at a time, 1 second at a time, 1 minute, 1 day at a time. You know, we have our days where sometimes we're just feeling okay. And that's okay. That's okay. We have to just, try our best to be strong, to push through it and persevere. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I on the days that I weight train or do my, you know, strength training, strength, my resistance, strengthening and all that, I usually do that first, then cardio, and I come on here and cool down. I haven't done it today. I didn't do it first today. So when I get off this live, I have to do some weight training. I have to do some strengthening, do some exercises to strengthen the core. I'm going to do arms, chest, back, and stomach. Arms, chest, back, and stomach. So for any of you guys who may come through here on the replay, hopefully if you don't come through on the live, how do you resistance train? What days do you do how's your regimen? How's your routine? How's your workout routine when it comes to resistance training, strength training, your weight training? Are you Monday, Wednesday, one part of the body, top part, Tuesday, Thursday, the lower body? How do you guys do it? Let me know. How do you fit in your exercise? Hey, April Showers, welcome, 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 welcome to the live. Glad to have you. So far, I've seen Cool Gamer, see TNT Family Show, and April Showers all decided to drop down. So I'm glad that you guys decided to drop down and say hello. I really am. Hello. Where is it? I'm so used to it. If I see, oh, I see him. If I see you, I see him. Yeah, this is my little friend, my friendly dog. He's in the house today. He started barking, y'all. And do you know, once he started barking just then, like I hear dogs from like a couple of blocks over barking. These animals do communicate. I don't care what anybody says. These animals, they communicate. As soon as he started to bark, like seconds, couple of seconds, and then dogs from the block over started to bark. It's so funny how animals do have their way of communicating, just like we do. So how has your week been going? How has everyone's week been going? I hope that you guys have, if you had any rough patches, I hope that you've pushed through or that you're pushing through. April says, hello, TNT and Cool Gamer. You're welcome, April. You're welcome. I hope that you guys are pushing through. If you've had a rough patch or if you're having a rough patch, I hope that everybody's week is great, has been going great. But you know how it is. Like I always say, we're human. Sometimes it's not always so great. We're humans. We have to encounter other humans. So sometimes it's not always so great. But hey, you take it and make the best of it. Make the best of every day that God has allowed you to see. I know that there are going to be some stressors, some things to get you down. But try your best to stay up. Try your best to stay up, to be encouraged. And as I always say, if nobody has given you a kind word today, tell yourself something kind. Uplift yourself. TNT says, hello, April Showers. And I am washing my dishes. See, you're getting something done. You're getting it done. TNT says, thanks for my shout out to host. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, TNT. I think that's what it's all about. Shouting each other out, promoting each other's channels, no matter how big, small, short, tall. I think that's what it's all about. Just shouting each other out and, encouraging each other to keep going, because, it gets hard. It gets hard sometimes. And sometimes we're not as motivated as others. So, you know, hopefully when I do a shout out, especially if someone's not motivated, I'm hoping that they'll see their name on the community wall, their channel receiving a shout out. Maybe it'll boost their spirits a little bit if they have become, you know, if they are feeling discouraged. If they are feeling discouraged, hopefully that's what the shout out can do for people. It may not drive hundreds of people to your channel, but hopefully it'll, encourage and motivate you to keep going, to keep doing what you're doing. Because I appreciate all of them. I appreciate them. When who is it? People like Dee Dee, uh Jordan from the J Jordan channel, Sugar Daddy One Williams, and anybody who shouts me out, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Again, y'all, it doesn't matter how big or small your channel is. Support other content creators. Support them in their channels, even if it's just simply by giving them a shout out every once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time, but just show some appreciation. I think we all appreciate it when people acknowledge us and shout us out. I think we all appreciate it. So don't find yourself just being on the receiving end all the time. Give someone a shout out, especially if you see that they're working hard on their channel. They're trying to put out content that'll bring people together in a positive way, that'll uplift people, that'll address people's, that'll address health issues, that will address, you know, family issues, that will address, what, like work related issues, that'll address relationship issues, things like that. That'll address those things in a way to, you know, encourage you and keep you motivated. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes all that other stuff, it's funny sometimes. It's okay. I tell y'all, I'm not a hypocrite. I like everything from comedy to drama. And when I say drama on here, though, it just seems it goes too far a lot of times. And it's like a lot of adults acting like, I won't even say high schoolers, because I've worked with high schoolers. And some of them don't act that way. I think some people, hey, Big Kane, what's up? Welcome, bro. Welcome to the live. I think some people are stuck in their minds, like they're in their 30s, especially like their late 30s and up, and they want to stay relevant as far as being cool and you know all this kind of stuff. I mean, face the music. It's a blessing to get older, and as you get older, act your age. Act as if you're acquiring the wisdom that age usually brings. You know, you can be a little messy sometimes because that's just life. But make sure that you're a person who can teach a young person something new, something different. Because in life, honestly, things aren't really too new. I mean, maybe technology, uh, new car, new type of car, but how many car lines are really new? Most of them have been around at least 10 years. But when I say that's been around a long time, I'm talking about almost since the beginning of time. I'll say, for instance, bell bottoms. How many times have bell bottoms come into style and gone out? How many times have high waisted jeans come into style and gone out? So, a lot of the times, the ways that we act, every generation, the kids of the 60s, even before that, but I'll just start the 60s, the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2000 and teens. We've all had our little youthful decade where, decade or two, where this was cool and that was cool and this was hip and that was hip. But then there should have been a time where you became a true adult and you start to act as an adult. Even if you're not a parent, you act as a parent figure. You teach the younger generations to, hey, have fun, do you like we did. But there's always a time where you have to mature up, man up and woman up and become mature. I mean, it's fun being mature. I see a lot of people and I really think that they're stuck in like a time warp. Like they want to say the cool phrases, they want to, and all this, it makes them feel like, I guess, that they're young. Young is how you feel physically and mentally too. But like, I'm like, what do you guys do? Like, do you go to the YMCA to help out young people? Like, do you have any type of youth programs? Whereas you're trying to impart some of your knowledge, because I promise you, every one of them on here that cut up, they swear from here to the sky that they're the smartest thing walking. So let's impart some of your knowledge into young people instead of trying to act so young and be so young. Because I think that's what they think it is, that they're cool, they're hip, they're it. They want to know all the rappers, all the present day rappers. And some of them are old enough to be their mamas. I mean, which that's okay. You like what you like. But when it comes to how you act, try to be someone who can truly be respected. And the first thing that they'll say, if they heard me say that, the first thing they'll say is, "How can you respect me?" Jeez, it's not about who respects you and you caring about it. It's just about, first and most importantly, self-respect. Y'all remember that word self? That four-letter word, SELF. I'm telling you, it's so much good can come from that. Don't think of it as, there are a couple of bad things that can come from it. Selfishness, self-entitlement, self-serving, you know, and even some of those phrases that seem bad, they can even be, flipped to be good in a way. Sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish. You have to take some time for you. Uh, Sometimes you have to be a little bit self-serving. You have to do the things that keep you vibrant, keep you uplifted, keep you happy, so that you can provide that happiness to others as well as yourself. So some of self, those words that begin with self that don't seem so positive all the times. Sometimes you can make them positive. You can make them positive, right? That's just like two negative numbers. Add two negative numbers together, you make it a positive, right? So you can make things, not everything, but a lot of things you can make positive. And of course, again, there's that time for a little drama, a little mess, but know when to end it. Know when to end it and move on to things that help to develop your minds as adults. Because even as adults, guess what we need to do? We need to do word puzzles. We need to we need to read. Um, we need to do things for our mind, for the health state of our minds, so that it'll stay, so that we can stay on top of things, so that we can try our best to stay on top of things. Hey, Sonya, welcome to the live. Let's see what TNT says. Yes, I do all the time, and I'm really trying to do once a week. Shout out. Yes, right, right. TNT says hello, Big Kane. Big Kane has dipped out on us. TNT, I'm gonna get Big Kane. Big Kane will come through here and he'll drop those eyes. He talks to us sometimes, and then he goes on about his business. TNT says, I gave you a thumbs up and I will be sharing you out. I appreciate that. Thank you, TNT, so much. I appreciate it. In my building, I help the older people who might be in need. Right, right. No matter what age you are, someone's probably older than you. So, help out the elderly. And there's definitely someone younger than you. So, help out in both areas where you can. Some people have, some people enjoy helping the elderly more. So if that's your thing, do that. You're doing your part. Some people enjoy helping the youth more. If that's your thing, do that. You're doing your part. But some people just enjoy helping everybody. And do as much as you can without overextending yourself. Because you do have to, like I say, be selfish a little bit sometimes. That's okay. That's okay. Lines Sonya said, hello, Lines Pride in chat. Everybody speaking to Sonya. Oh, Big Kane still here, y'all. He says, ladies, he gave us a wink. He gave us a wink. So, yes, Big Kane is still here. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. When I appreciate the women, I appreciate the men when they come through. They take the time to, show they have a little patience with us and come through. Uh, I appreciate the people from other countries who come through. I've been having quite a few from other countries who come through. I appreciate that. Those are moments where we can have a chat and take those opportunities to learn. Big Kane always brings us some knowledge when he comes in, especially if we're talking about something, you know, we're trying to figure things out. He always brings in some knowledge. And that's what I tell you guys, come over here and drop nuggets. Don't be afraid or ashamed to drop nuggets. Don't be afraid or ashamed to ask questions. I know people say no question is a stupid question. I think I'm with that 90% of the time because I know that sometimes people intentionally ask stupid questions. Um, you know, so if a question sounds stupid to you, think about it. It may not be stupid to the person who asked. They may sincerely, legitimately want to know. I'm sure each of us have had a time where we've had a question and we were a little bit reluctant to raise our hand or ask that question, whether we were in school, whether we were in college, or whether we were on the job. Because with jobs usually you have orientation process, an orientation process, and so during the orientation, they tell you a little bit, explain a little bit about what's going on with their company, what your job, what's expected of you in your job position, and you wouldn't believe how many people won't ask questions. But then when the teacher or the orientator or whoever is, conducting the class walks out of the class or gives a break, you got 4 or 5 people in the class saying, what does that mean? Does it mean this? Does it mean that? And I'm like, you should ask them. We're all in here together trying to find out the same thing. And we're asking each other. And unless that person has worked there before, they don't know. TNT says, hey, Big K, hello. Uh, she says, what Lions, be careful. Thank you, TNT. I will. I can see, I can most of the street lights are on and I can see where I need to be and when I'm going to stop. So and actually quite a few neighbors are out. Thank goodness. Sonya says, hey TNT. Yeah. So most of the times when you go into an orientation, whether it's for school, for a job, or just like some extra training or something like that for your job, the person will say, are there any questions? And sometimes people will ask questions, but 9 times out of 10, when they leave out, of course, there's going to be discussion, on what you just received, the information that you just received. But 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to ask somebody else in the room, what does he or she mean by that? Or what do they, I wonder if they do this and I wonder if they do that. And all they had to do was just ask them or ask them when they come back. But, you know, I do understand. I do understand. And I understand why people would feel like they're not going to ask a question because they may think that someone else perceives it as stupid or dumb or silly. I understand that because, like I always say, y'all, we're humans. And you always have that set that's going to, you know, try to make you feel dumb or stupid. You always have those who are going to try to make you feel as if you're dumb or stupid. It's just the nature of the beast. Some people are just, some people just have it in them to be that jokester, that clownster, or just that negative person. You have some people who, I would say they're not really bullies. They're just they always have something quirky to say. They always have an opinion. And most of the times their opinion about whatever you're talking about is what's really stupid. So you may ask a question. You may have a little group or two or three chicks or two or three guys sitting to the side, like talking, cackling, like that was so stupid. She should know or he should know, whatever, whatever, whatever. Well, what's really stupid is that you assuming that what someone else should know. You know, what's really stupid is you assuming what someone else should know. And it's because of those very people, those are the reasons that people don't ask questions. People like that are the reasons that people feel like their questions are stupid. So it doesn't matter. Whatever it is in life, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. And just like with everything else, I know that's easier said than done. Because I myself, I tell you guys all the time, you have to own your flaws. I remember situations where someone may have asked me something, and I just kind of gave them a blank stare, like. And I think, like I said, as we age, we should get wiser, more mature, and things of that nature. And so they'd asked me something, and I just kind of gave them a blank stare, maybe didn't even answer them. If I could roll back the hands of time, I would do that differently. But you can't roll back the hands of time. So the next best thing or the next closest thing to rolling it back is just, doing better, doing better at whatever point you knew. Even then, you knew better. But hey, we are what we are. We do how we do. But there comes a time when you truly want to do better, and you don't do some of the same old things that you used to do. You don't do some of the same old things that you used to do. Now, granted, something like that probably you think wouldn't hurt someone, but you never know. You never know what the things you do can do to another person's ego, you know, to their emotional status, their emotional state, what to their emotional state, because you never know what their emotional status is. What if you had, you know, sometimes, like I'll say our children, for instance, sometimes they're going through things and they don't tell us, they aren't ready to tell us yet. And they may be having a bad day. Say it's somebody at school that's kind of nagging at them, or they may be having a hard time in a class and they just haven't told you yet because they know you're going to be like asking all these questions. They know you're going to be concerned. And sometimes you may even be upset because you may feel like why are you here? Why haven't you paid attention? So when they do come and ask you something, if depending on your response may not seem so bad when you give it, but you never know how much it may tear them down emotionally. You never know how much that response may tear them down mentally. And again, we're not perfect. I'm saying this doesn't mean I won't end up doing it, But when you sit back and you really think of things, and you just kind of think of situations, sometimes some of the things that we've done that don't seem so bad may not have seemed bad to us, but you never know how they were, how your response came off to the person you were talking to. You never know. So What I try to do now is I try my best to think for a few seconds before responding. Think for a few seconds, even if it takes a minute or two before responding, because sometimes those quick responses can be devastating. And it's the same with us. All we have to do is think about the until you walk a mile in someone else's shoes, even with the simplest things in life. Think before you respond to someone, especially a younger person, especially your children. And a lot of us have children who are adults now, but even with them, think before you respond sometimes. Because even though they're adults and they're a little bit stronger than they were, they're still your children. And if you come out to them a certain way, it can be defeating. It can give them a feeling of defeat, a feeling of not being important, or a feeling of you feel like they're stupid. Hey Tamika, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tamika says, "Good evening, everyone." So I had to learn that, you know, if someone was to say it to me when I was 22, I would understand what they meant. But would I have practiced it? Not sure. I would try, but the youth in me, the youthfulness that was me then, I probably would have tried, but still not have had the patience to say, "Hey, okay, let me think before I act on this way. Let me think before I act that way." So that's why I say, as adults, as mature, seasoned adults, and many of us, young adults, middle aged, whatever you are, those more seasoned people, we still have to think sometimes before we act. We have to think before we respond. And we just have to think more. Just think more. Like I was saying earlier, use your mind more. Get a crossword puzzle. Get one of those numbers books. You guys know what I mean when I say the numbers books. When those when they came out years ago with those books like crossword puzzles, but they were numbers. I love those books. Put your mind to work. And sometimes even something as simple as that will teach you, to be more patient. Because I'm telling you, those numbers, those things are something else. And they're good for kids as well. They didn't really help me with patience. But if I were to do them now, I could see where they would. And I could see where they would help, you know, others with patience. Because sometimes, they go from easy to medium to difficult. And sometimes the easy ones give you fits. And those difficult ones, oh my goodness. Me too, Big Kane. I love crossword puzzles. The I love crossword puzzles and I love those numbers. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those number books? They were basically crossword puzzles, but they were numbers. I oh my gosh, I would be at work, especially when I would work night shift, and those books would come in so handy. Like I said, they didn't work for me back then because I was so much younger as far as teaching me patience. I wish they had, but I really do think that they would now. I think the reason they didn't work as far as teaching me patience back then is because I wasn't looking to develop patience. I thought I was all right. You know what I'm saying? You think you're all right. So I was just looking for the challenge. I just enjoyed the challenge. So I would do them. I would run to the grocery store. Like I would do one and be done. Like just depending on how difficult it was, I would probably be done with the whole book in like 2 or 3 days, work days, because I would do it at work on downtime. And I'd run right back to the grocery store or to Walmart because Walmart would have them and I'd buy more. I don't know why I stopped doing that. My kids even got into those. I think puzzles like that. Yes, yes. See what I'm talking about, y'all? See what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, Big Cane, that's what it is. Is it Sudoku? That's how you say it, Sudoku? Yes, those. Those were the bomb. And I don't know if they still sell them, but I'm going to look for some because I'm telling you, y'all, I own my flaws. I think that would be really helpful for me in the patience department. I think that would teach me to have more patience because I'm a lot better than I used to be. But you know, I think we're all a work in progress. And I know for a fact that I could be, I should be a lot better. So I am going to look for the Sudoku puzzles. That's what they are. Yes, I love those. And when they first came out with them, or when I first noticed them, because I don't know exactly when they came out with them, I was working night shifts, and I love those things. I got my kids into them. I got my mom into it. Like we just loved them. And and it was so much because I love crossword puzzles, and it was just that they were a little bit more challenging to me. And but the more you did them, the better you got at them. The more you did them, the better you got at them. And looking back on it now, if I had looked at that as something to kind of, like I said, sometimes we're in our like 20s, we don't think, I got patience. Or we don't even realize how many times we said back then, I ain't got time for that. Or how many times we thought, I don't have time for that. Well, you know what that thinking comes from? A lack of patience. Now, some things you don't have time for, some things that are just, trivial or just a waste of time, you don't have time for. But there are some things where it's like, I'm like, I don't have time. I just my patience. It was my patience. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of hard to explain. But like waiting on somebody, maybe if I grabbed the crossword puzzle or the Sudoku book, I could just, what I'm saying? So I really can see now where that would teach me, to be more patient. And I'm going to look for one of those. I hope they still sell them. I hope they still sell them. Big Kane says crosswords challenge my brain. Yeah, yeah, Big Kane, they do. They do. And I was surprised. I would have, had I never seen it, so I would have never thought about doing that with numbers. You know, I would have never thought about it. But when I found that, somebody at work introduced it to me. And so I did it, to pass time at work. And then when I saw how challenging it could be, I did it because I loved the challenge. Actually, I loved the challenge. And so when I would just look, believe it or not, you know how each generation of kids are a little bit smarter, a little bit smarter, and a little bit smarter when it comes to things like that. And that's how I would get my kids into it. They would be like, I can do it, mama. And y'all, when I tell you, some of them would take me 2 hours when I would get to the difficult level. Like they wipe it out in a few minutes. They'll be done with it in a few minutes. And I'm like, okay, okay, I need to do more. I need to do more and more and more. Big Kane says I don't do Sudoku. How am I saying? I'm saying it wrong. Sudoku. So I want to say Sudoku. 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 Because it's just numbers. I learned info from crosswords. Really? Really, Big Kane? Yes, it's numbers to me. But like with the crosswords, I don't know. I guess because I was just used to doing those all my life. Like I I was just so used to those. Like it's just, how do I say it? They come so, like, just say for instance you were playing chess. I probably beat everybody with the crossword. If I can relate it to that. But the Sudoku, good gosh. I used to say it all the time, maybe because I said it for so long. Sudoku puzzles. I'm telling you, yeah, sometimes the the supposedly difficult ones really see, those teaching me a little bit more patience. room for that. Yeah, yeah, I love both of them. I love both of them. I was just so surprised to see, like I said, someone at my job introduced the numbers to me, and I was like, I was just curious. When I looked, I was like, no, with numbers. So I was really, really curious, and then once I started, it was on from there. And I think I really lost touch with doing that, like after I stopped working night shifts. And see how looking back, I say hindsight is 2020. Like looking back, I probably really could have used crossword puzzles and the Sudoku to, to help me develop more patience because you have to concentrate. You have to you have to kind of sit still. And then, but my thing was just the challenge. I was just so enamored with the challenge of it. So I think I'm going to look for some. I hope they have them. I don't even know if I see magazines in the stores anymore. Do stores still sell magazines? Yes, yes, became exactly patience and concentration. Patience and concentration. And I think so many people could benefit from that. I think so many people can benefit from that. I think like people with anger management problems, with working with people with anger management problems, I think that if when you set something in front of them, they truly don't have patience. But every, when you eventually find something, everyone, whether you have anger issues or just, your patience are really short, just whatever issues you have, sometimes people have short attention spans. Sometimes people with short attention spans need those type of things. So and everything won't work for everybody, but those crossword puzzles, Sudoku puzzles, things like that. What is it when you kind of like Candy Crush? I think Candy Crush can work for people like that. There are certain things that really do work on helping people to develop more patience because they have to focus, they have to concentrate, like you said, concentration. And I think once they do that, or once they realize that they can slow down and focus, and concentrate, and pay attention to something like that, it kind of can help them, transition into being more patient with other things, with other aspects of life in other areas. Maybe not all, but just overall as a person, I think it can help. And not just, like I said, it could be crossword puzzles, it could be the Sudoku puzzles, it can be something like playing games on your phone. But the thing about those phones, though, we know how hard it is already to put those down. So you have to be real careful when it's something like the phone. But I can see something like Candy Crush teaching, some, maybe not all, but some, because you're going to always have that group of people who they will do that all day, every day. But as soon as you ask them to wash the dishes or to take out the trash, they'll snap at you. They'll snap at you. So then you're like, where's the patience? Kane says, I'm playing Soda Crush and listening. I love Soda Crush. I hadn't played it in so long. I didn't look, Kane. I didn't think they could create anything to make me like it better than Candy Crush. And here they come with Soda Crush. Then they came with Soda Crush. I was like, you know how you're resistant at first? I'm like, how they gonna come up with this? I was like, Candy Crush was just fine. It's kind of like when they create a reality show. And then they do a spin-off or they create another one, and you're like, I don't like that one. But every now and again, that second show will be better. Most times it's the first one, it's the original that's best. But every now and again, the second show will top it. So when they came out with Candy Crush, with Soda Crush, I was like, how dare they? How dare they? But guess what? I love it. I love Soda Crush. I hadn't played either one of them in so long. They probably you could not play for a while and then come back to your level. They probably started. I probably my account's probably it's probably null and void. I probably would have to start all over. I'd be so mad. I would be so mad. I'd probably have to start all over. Because the last time I played it was I only played it on one device. And that device hadn't even been on in so long. So I probably couldn't even get back into my Candy Crush and get back to the level that I was on. I was way up there too. When is it? When does it start over on Kane? Do you remember what level Candy Crush starts over? Soda Crush. I don't even know. Does it start over? But I used to love those little games like that, especially when they were on the phones. You know, way back in the day when they used to have you building the little towns, those other different little games you could play on the phone. Now those helped to pass the time. They didn't really help me to develop patience because I would get frustrated. And, and Candy Crush really didn't help me with patience either because I would get frustrated when I would get out. But it would kind of, it would kind of soothe me a little bit. Like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play Candy Crush. Let me sit down and take a weight off, take a load off, and play some Candy Crush. They keep adding. Okay, okay. So it just keep adding. Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. You're on level 2,530. Oh my gosh, I stopped playing for 2 years. Okay, well, I probably can get back in then. I can probably get back into my account then. To my little, I don't even remember how I was, what was it? Because I didn't go through, I think my brother used to be like, he had a Facebook or something and he would go that route. But I just, on the phone it had the games already on it and I just started. So maybe I can just do candycrush.com. I don't know. I would have to have something in to put there though to make sure so that they would know it's me. Oh my gosh, I don't want to have to start all over. Maybe I need to start over. Maybe I need to start over and see how fast I can, elevate. See how fast I can elevate. See just how far I can go and how far I can go and how quickly I can get there. But oh my goodness, became 2000. I know I wasn't on no 2000 or something. I know that. I think I was like on a thousand or something. I can't remember. So at first it was on a phone, like an old phone, and then I got like what's the I guess like a notepad or something. It was a Verizon or whatever. So maybe I can get in it that way. Okay, okay. You started over? Okay, I got you. I got you. So when you started over, how fast did it take you? How long did it take you to get back up to 2000? 2,500. Oh my goodness, 2,539. That's good. That's good. That's up there, up there. I'll probably have to I'm probably gonna have to start over too. That's all right though. It'll be fun. Maybe I can see if I can remember some of the levels. Maybe I can see if I can remember some of the levels. Ooh, it feels so good out here, y'all. It feels so good. But I'm done. I'm done. Thank you guys. Thank you, Big Kane. Thank you for helping me out with that Sudoku. I'm going to look for some of those tomorrow because I have to go to Walmart anyway. But if I can't find them on Walmart, you know Amazon has just about everything. I'm going to find them probably on Amazon if I can't find them on Walmart. Became says I started back like 6 months ago. So you started back like 6 months ago and you're there? Oh, wow. See, became I ain't trying to be funny, but men are good with stuff like that. Like, y'all be saying sometimes, not y'all, like you know what I'm saying. I ain't saying you, but I'm saying some men act like we don't give y'all credit for nothing. But I'm gonna tell you, it ain't nothing like having a man who knows how to use his hands. And I ain't talking about in one dealership all the time because of this computerized stuff. But I'm talking about around the home. If something goes crazy, you don't have to worry about calling the pros out each and every time because you got a man there who, even if that's not what he does, he can look at it and just kind of figure it out and just put his mind and his hands to work. Like with manipulating things with your hands, there are some women who are great at that, but men just do that, and y'all seem to have more patience when it comes to doing certain things. Y'all have more patience, in my opinion, when it comes to certain things. Not all things. Now, some things we outdo y'all when it comes to the patience now. But me being a person who can be short patience, I know sometimes you guys, you're like, I think you have more of that attitude of what is will be, or what it is what it is. And we're so busy trying to make it better, make it right. And you guys are more comforting and saying, like, okay, quit stressing, or it's going to be okay, you know. And then when it comes to just using your hands around the home, and when it comes to just using your minds with stuff like this, like with Candy Crush, even something simple like that, or of course with the games, with the video games. And there are some ladies who tough with those games now. I ain't gonna lie, but when it comes to stuff like that, I just love watching men do that kind of stuff. And then on Thursday, Sunday, Saturday, just watching them kick back and watching football. Basketball season's about to get kicked up. Just watching them because they're chilling, they're relaxing, they're in their element, and then around the house. Like I said, if something goes wrong with the plumbing, a lot of times they may have never done anything like that before, but they come up with something. They go get the duct tape, the gorilla tape, the gorilla glue up under the car with the hoses and all that stuff. No, y'all do good. Y'all do good. I YouTube it then do it if I don't already know. I'm telling you, like YouTube, hey, YouTube is something else. YouTube is like it can help you, it can save you in a lot of situations. It can help you save a lot of money too. Because a lot of times it just takes you to just say, you know what, before I take this here, let me see what YouTube says. And that's why I always tell people, venture out, venture out. Don't just stay in one area on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and figure out how to do things that you thought you'd never do. You can be in a situation where it's like I said, it's after hours. You can't call the plumber. You can't call the AC guy. You can't, I don't know if you'll be able to go out there and handle the AC, but you can probably go out there with a flashlight and hit that YouTube button and kind of figure out, know a little bit more when you're talking to them. Because y'all know how they do. They like to take advantage of you. When they come out there, they like to take advantage of you. They sure do. They love to take advantage of you. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg anyway. So why not use YouTube to kind of see if you can get a little bit of a heads up, and tell them, what you see. You may not know how to solve it or how to fix it, but you can tell them what you see. And just by telling them what you see, sometimes you can shut it down when they start talking about all this crazy stuff. Because I'm telling you, if people know that you don't know anything, especially like when it comes to cars and stuff, like even some guys, if you don't know anything about a car, man, they'll get over on you so quickly at the dealership. They'll get over on you so quickly, so quickly. So it's like whenever I go, I always, whenever I get my car serviced, I'll go get it serviced. And then they're gonna come and they're gonna give you the sheet with the rundown, with making all the suggestions that they made. And I take it right on over to my uncle and and let him do whatever it is that they're suggesting, because he's a certified mechanic. So, he won't know about all cars, but he knows about a lot of them. And then he'll know if they're just, trying to hit your pocketbook, your purse, your pockets. He'll know. He'll know. So it's good to have someone like that around to let you know. If you don't have someone like that around to let you know, get to know somebody like that who can let you know. Because, like I said, nowadays with these computers, everything has to go on the machine. Everything has to, be looked up per computer for them to tell you anything. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like everything. And they ain't lying, because a lot of times you could even stop by the, what is it, like O'Reilly's, or what is another place, like AutoZone, Pet Boys or something. And they could kind of, they're just kind of mostly the little supply stores and stuff, or the little oil change places. But sometimes even those guys can tell you what's going on. But a lot of times now, with the way they're building cars, the shade trees can do very little. The shade tree mechanics can't do what they used to do. They can't do it like they can't help you like they used to. I tell you, they find a way to get the money, y'all. They find a way to get that money, and that's all that is. Making these cars all these different ways, they're still overpriced, and to get them serviced and to keep them up is still too much. It's too much. So I go get it serviced. I get my little sheet, and I figure out what it is that I just absolutely have to let them do at the dealership, and everything else I get someone else to do it. Everything else I get someone else to do it. Well, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Thank you, Big Kane. Again, I appreciate the conversation, bro. I appreciate you coming in here, talking with us, dropping some nuggets, reminding us of some things. I appreciate TNT, April Showers, Sonya, Cool Gamer. Y'all watch the community wall, and you mentioned I'm gonna do a shout out tonight. And if I miss you, it wasn't intentional, but I'll definitely catch you on the next one. And if you see that I haven't caught you and you've seen I've done some shout outs, let me know. Let me know. It's a lot of y'all. It's a lot of y'all. But I definitely do try to always get the people who come into my chat and support the most, because that's what it's about. You didn't have to do it, and I appreciate it. I truly do appreciate it. And on that, I'm going to wish you guys peace, positivity, and prosperity. And you know what I say, without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. And wherever you have chaos and negativity, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential. So take yourself out of those equations. Wherever you see chaos and negativity, sit back and watch if you want, but try to, remove yourselves from those situations, and just, don't let bothered people bother you. Don't let bothered people bother you. And don't leave this app. Don't leave your job. Don't leave any place. At least try not. Try not to leave any place with more stress than you went there with. You don't need that extra stress. You don't need it. You don't need the extra stress. You want to relax and unwind. When you're on these apps and stuff like that, you want to have fun. And even if you do want to watch a little drama, that's okay. Just don't let it overwhelm you. Just don't let it overwhelm you. You don't have time for that. That's something that you don't have time for. That's something that you shouldn't have patience for. It's not. That's something that you shouldn't have patience for. You don't have time for, and just don't let it happen. Try your best not to let it happen. I'm sure some situations are going to come up. Times the best thing to do is to say your piece, and be done. Say your piece, say your piece, know your piece, say your piece, protect your peace. Know your piece, say your piece, protect your peace, and be done. Be done. Nobody got time for that. And I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Y'all check me out. If you come across this video, anything that you see in this video by me or any of the subscribers or other content creators in my chat, Those things are meant for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Anything in the chat is just meant to try to help each other, help your brother, help your sister, be your brother's keeper, be your sister's keeper. Take some things away if you can that'll help you in the future or that'll help someone you know. But it's not professional advice. It's just personal experiences, just personal experiences. And on that note, I will see you guys again on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's motivational, encouraging, and uplifting. It can be funny. It can be a little dramatic, but not drama amongst the chat. No drama amongst the chat. All right, y'all. Bye, y'all.